Superman issue 16, Brian Michael Bendis writing with David LaFuente on the art. This is the return of the Super Sons. This is John coming to see Damian, and Damian freaking out because John is now like 18 or whatever he is.
Which since John came back, this is what I've been waiting for. And it is out just as I thought it would. Damian does not disappoint. I will say my negative for this is the art. I'm just not a fan of it. It's not bad. It's just not my thing. It's overly cartoony. It almost has a manga style to it. And I'm just not digging it. The proportions seem to be out of whack throughout the whole issue. So, and if people like it, I get it. It's just not for me.
I feel like it's actually a lot closer to what Super Sons typically look like than it's not. I mean, it's not the exact art that they had, but it's definitely closer.
And I get them trying that, but it wasn't the same as what I was getting in Super Sons, or even with what's his name from Young Justice, and then he left.
Tim's, or I mean,
not Tim's, Gleason. You know, I get how it's kind of going for that vibe, but it's just I did not enjoy.
It's a very consistent, confident art style. But yeah, it's just maybe just a bit stylized depending on what your taste is. You know, Damian throws batarangs at him when he first shows up, and they sort of ting off of his head because he's not really believing. Not Connor, sorry, John. Repeatedly has to kind of repeat the phrase where he's like, I went with my grandfather, I got stuck in space, but now I'm back. I'm back here.
Got trapped on an evil Earth in a volcano prison. That's what kind of snaps. Wait, a volcano prison?
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, there's a page where he hugs Damian, and Damian's like a foot off the ground. You know, he's like picked up, and it really kind of sets this stuff up. So, you know, they go off and they get some food. Damian jokes and says, "Hey, maybe you should go and get me some beer or something." He's like, "You don't drink." He's like, "Yeah, but I feel like we should take advantage of this." But the funny thing about that is, I'm like, I'm pretty sure Damian, being Damian, could get whatever he wants. If he really wanted booze, Damian Wayne could get booze.
Yeah. Well, also in the beginning, he's fighting Leviathan.
Yeah, he is.
Which he won't call because that's not you. That's a family name. You don't get to use that. So I'm gonna call you guys a bunch of goons. But they're wearing the same mask that Pete was talking about in the last one. Yeah. That, you know, and then they teleport out. That's where John shows up.
Those almost Roman-looking helmets they've got going. Yeah. Also, I like the idea that John, to avoid littering, just incinerates his garbage with his heat vision.
I like that too.
Interesting touch. So yeah, John explains to him that he's been invited to Legion of Superheroes, and what's funny is that it's kind of Damian who convinces him to go. That he would want to go.
College.
Yeah. So there is something to be said here that if you felt like it was going to ignore, you know, the importance of the John and Damian relationship from the Rebirth era of the books, it does kind of feel like Bendis has given him the one important facet where it's Damian who kind of convinces him that he should go and you know, have adventures with the Legion and do whatever. I will say I think the art style for, like, say, the fortress looks quite good. You know, that page where he's coming out of the fortress, that looks quite nice.
Yeah, it does. Just real quick too. So as they're going out on their, you know, adventures for the night, it looks like they take out the the Riddler. They save a bunch of cats from a burning building. Looks like a plane was in trouble. They fight Kite Man, so he's there. And then at the bottom, I felt a little disrespected as a fan of Secret Six, where it's Catman, the Catman that we know from Secret Six. And as they're taking out his car, Catman is crying. And yeah, I just take umbrage with this because Catman's awesome. So anyway, Bendis, what are you doing, man?
So Saturn Girl shows up and is like, "Hey, John, have you decided yet?" And kind of shows him what the future's like using some of her powers. And then says, "Hey, with this ring, you can come back anytime you want." And he's like, "Okay, then let's go." So yeah, the end of the book is essentially going to the future. This is him leaving to go to the Legion. Although there's the nice little hint of a secret at the end, where Superman already has a Legion. I don't know if it's quite a ring; it's just like a disc, but maybe implying that, you know, he does actually have a history with the Legion of Superheroes in a different timeline, or Because it's not this Legion. This Legion has not dealt with Superman, and in the way that.
Well, isn't that the one that they gave him? Because they gave it to Superman to call him back at any time.
Oh, did they?
That's what I got from it. Because it's like a disc, not so much
Oh,
a
you're
ring.
right. Yeah, so you gave it to him. All right, never mind then. I thought John took that with him, and then the one Superman had was one that he already had.
Because he says you'll come home for special occasions, and he's like, I might be back in 10 minutes.
Because I thought that, and then it said next time the secret.
Yeah.
And I.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
That's just how I took it. Was that it was the one because she gives it to him in that box.
No,
it makes it
you're
kind
probably
of hard
right.
to see whose hand that is. I'm trying to see what. No, because John has different gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. No, but the issue's a nice little send off for John. And Damien's friendship. Like I said, the art is very cartoony in places. Like Superman, especially when he shows up at the fortress, has this really bulky kind of look to him.
Yeah, very Wolverine-esque when like Joe Madureira would draw him. You know, like he's got this width to him. You know, but no. Otherwise, it was just a pretty fun, beat, especially after everything that we've had in Superman. Not necessarily that it's been heavy, but just the stuff with all the United Planets and spacefaring and all of that stuff. It was a nice little downshift to John and Damien's relationship, and it's not that it was being ignored, but now it's finally been addressed, so we can get them on to other things here.
Yeah, it's a sort of issue that it'll be in probably the first Legion trade rather than whatever Superman trade's coming out, because it just kind of sets up into that nicely. So no, maybe in both even. That's the thing. But yeah, that's Superman 16. What are you giving it?
I'm gonna give this one a 8, mostly because of the art.
That's why it's not higher. You mean?
Yeah, that's why it's not harder. Yeah.
I will get. Yeah, I'll go with 7.5. I think it's pretty good. I like the John and Damien beats, so yeah, it's pretty solid.